Hi, I'm Joe Lacey. I'm the author and illustrator of 8-Bit Kingdom and 8-Bit Cosmos.
The unbelievable history of computer technology is brought to life in the fantastic tales of 8-Bit Kingdom and 8-Bit Cosmos. In this interview, Joe Lacey talks about how he created these unique science fiction and fantasy books.
Well, my idea for the books came from my experience as an animator and pixel artist with Fisher-Price, primarily the Pixter handheld video game units for kids. These are activity games. They had kind of arcade-style games, very limited graphics, primarily black and white, small screens, 80 by 80 resolution, but you had to pack a lot of information into it. And so that was back in the early 2000s, early mid-2000s. I just really missed it. I wished it could go on forever. So you jump ahead to today, and I thought, well, how can I keep doing this? We're not making the games, so why don't I make a book? I just thought, well, I want to draw. Here's a 8-bit dragon. Here's an 8-bit wizard. Here's an 8-bit princess and a king, and here's the fool, and almost like tarot cards. But as it went along, I started writing little stories for each image because they were going to kind of be, in my mind, coloring books. So I write little description of the characters, but then the descriptions of the characters turned into full little stories, kind of like stories you would find on the back of a bubblegum card. Here's one of the characters from 8-Bit Cosmos. It's Dr. Eplica. So you get to read about Dr. Eplica, his little bit of his background and what he's about. And then he pops up here and there in other parts of the story where his evil clone, Dr. Corruptica, would have to be the funky sites. They're these little mouse-like characters, little aliens with these big ears, and they live deep in the deep groove of Moonpost 3, MP3, and they're obsessed with the deep bass sounds of the boogie beat, and they send out these destructive waves out into the universe that can accidentally blow up planets, and they got funk power. Goblins. Love the goblins. They're smelly, they're stinky, they're ugly. You gotta love the goblins. Originally, when I was writing the first book, 8-Bit Kingdom, it was going to be the artwork was 8-bit. That was kind of enough. But then as I started writing them, the names of the characters sort of started lending themselves to more of a computer history. So you have King Octavius VIII. He's 8-bit. So there's an 8 theme that runs through everything. And as I researched more and more for names and different things about computers, the jargon and technical terminology of computers was funny in itself, especially when you get into things like malware and viruses and worms. So I just thought, well, this is great. So when I did it, sometimes it went backward. It went from one end to the other, where it's like it starts with the character, and it's like, well, how do I make this character computery? Or it starts with this computer thing, and how do I make it medieval? And the same thing with 8-Bit Cosmos. It's, how do I make it outer space? How do I make it computer? You can really do a lot with just a few pixels. You can take 30 pixels and you can make someone look brave, or you can make them look scared. Most pixel art really is not all that simple. And that's a big reason why I love the old classic video games of the 80s. I love working with that limited technology because it can bring out a lot of creativity.
8-Bit Kingdom and 8-Bit Cosmos are on sale now. Get your copies today.